Hello everyone, welcome to Everyday Wellness and Yoga with Pim. I am Pim and welcome to yoga to de-stress and unwind and maybe even to prepare the body for sleep. Let's begin by coming to a very comfy, cozy position, seated maybe on your bed. I'm sitting on a bolster. You might consider putting a folded blanket underneath the legs. And you might also consider grabbing a couple blocks or a couple thick books and placing it under the knees for support. And we get cozy by rooting our sit bones in, drawing our belly to the spine, and we grow long from our tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Shrug your shoulders up to the ears and then just relax them away and down the back, softening the face. Head might rest on an imaginary headrest of a car. And we arrive here. And if you practice mudras, and mudras are hand gestures like Anjali Mudra, you might consider practicing a mudra called Vayu Mudra. And in Vayu, the focal point is the index finger, which represents the element of air inside the body. So if we can reduce this element, which is related to bloating and maybe gas inside the belly, maybe you just had a big meal, or maybe restlessness, lots of air in the body, if we can reduce that, maybe we can become a little bit more restful. So by drawing our index finger down towards the mound or the bottom part of our thumb, we can then take our thumb and hold it down at the knuckle gently in a comfortable manner. And then your middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger are extended. And then maybe placing the back of the hand gently resting on top of the thigh. And again, you can certainly sit there with your palms on top of the thigh, whatever you prefer, whatever feels right for you. And again, sitting up nice and tall, we invite the eyes to close. And we bring our senses inward, observing the body, observing our breath, noticing the quality of our breath without making any judgment or changing our breath. We simply observe the length of the breath as it flows in and out of the body. The gentle rise and fall of maybe the belly or the shoulders or the chest. And maybe even noticing the flow of air on the tip of our nose or on our upper lip. Noticing what we can sense. And then gently blink your eyes open. And if you have props, put them off to the side. Let's come to our hands and our knees in the shape of tabletop. Taking our time to line up our wrists right below our shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, looking back at our knees hip distance apart. Gently drawing the belly, the spine. Arms are strong, pressing through the knuckles of the hands. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. On the inhalation, we send the tailbone up, belly comes down, sliding the chest forward. Long neck, we look forward, coming into cow. And then on an exhale, can we round the spine one vertebrae at a time? Chin tucks down last, coming into shape of cat. And when you're ready with your breath, inhale. Coming back in the cow, and on your exhale, coming back in the shape of cat. And continue to move at your own pace with your breath, synchronizing the movement with the breath. And wherever you are, bring the spine to neutral. Step the right foot outside of the right hand. And maybe consider sliding the left knee back a little bit. Getting into psoas, you can certainly put a block or a firm pillow underneath the left hand for a little bit of height and support. And the right toes are turned out a little bit. And the right knee is pointed over, tracking over the right toes. So we're opening up the hip, getting into the left psoas there in a very gentle way. Broadening the collarbone, maybe we look forward. And then maybe we consider coming down to one elbow, and then maybe the other. We're not coming down too low. This might be the end of the evening. Maybe we gently rock side to side. But if you wanted to go further, maybe consider slowly lowering the block if you're using a block. Maybe finding your way down to the ground. Or maybe even one hand, the palm of one hand stays up while the other elbow rests down on the ground. And we use our breath to soften the body, asking it to let go of any tension. And then on the next inhalation, we slowly press up one hand at a time, moving nice and slow, really mindfully, stepping your right knee back, coming back to a tabletop. And we step the left foot outside of the left hand. Again, we decide if we want to slide that right knee back. We take our time, turn the left toes out. Maybe just rock gently side to side. And then consider if maybe we want to explore one elbow, starting with the right elbow coming down. Maybe the left elbow comes to meet. Maybe that feels really fine and dandy and we want to go further. Maybe we just go in steps instead of one quick movement down to earth. We don't rush, we take our time. And maybe this side feels a whole lot different than the other. We meet our body where it is. Again, maybe inviting a gentle movement side to side if that feels good. Noticing all the areas where the body is touching the earth. And then on the next inhale, slowly we come up one hand at a time, very mindfully, sliding that left knee back. Bring the big toes together, widen the knees, and we sit down into child's pose, releasing the head maybe down to the bed, the ground, maybe a firm pillow or a block. And we shimmy our hips side to side, gently massaging the hips. And as we come to stillness, we draw our hands by our head, press back up to a tabletop, and let's slide our chest forward. Slowly, gently slide your chest forward, coming onto your elbows. Bhujangasana. And the arms, the forearms, are parallel to the side of the mat. And if it feels okay with the spine, we bring our elbows so they line up right underneath our shoulders and create this 90-degree. However, if there's a sensation, a pinching in the back, you might consider bringing the forearms forward. And we relax the shoulders away from the ears. Point the toes back. Notice if you're clenching your glutes, see if you can relax that. And again, noticing how it feels in the spine. If it feels, a little bit of pressure, you might consider gently drawing your belly in just a little bit and lifting it off of the mat or the earth. Again, shoulders relax in this Sphinx pose. And we practice our controlled breathing in and out of the nose here. Just relaxing it into that shape, into the shape of Sphinx. So good for the body. Opening up the heart. Countering all that rounding in the shoulders and in the upper back. Maybe from working from home, seated at our desk. Or even driving the car sometimes. A couple more breaths here. And then on your next out breath, slowly lower the head down. Draw the hands by the rib cage and press yourself back up to your knees. Let's lean over to one side and swing our legs out in front. And with our legs extended, hands by the side of the hips, legs are active, toes are pointed up. We might even invite a little bend in the knees to help us sit up nice and tall. Or you may even consider putting a blanket underneath our sit bones to help us find that neutral spine, a little bit more ease if you're feeling some tightness in the hamstrings and the back of the legs. And we draw the belly button to the spine, we relax the shoulder blades down in Dandasana, staff pose. And then gently draw the sole of the right foot in to touch the inside of the left thigh. We open up the left leg, extend it, so it creates a shape of a V in between the extended leg and the right thigh bone. And we maintain that activation in the left leg. Take an inhalation, we extend the arms up to the sky. And we gently turn our belly so it faces over the left thigh. And again, maybe we invite a little bit of a bend to start. Inhaling here, exhale, we reach our belly and our chest forward as if to touch the belly on top of the thigh, reaching the chest forward. Maybe the hands come to the outside of the shins, maybe to the ankles, or maybe we're able to grab the outside of the left foot. And you can certainly use props here. Maybe a towel can be wrapped around the sole of the left foot, a belt. And take an inhalation, back off a little bit, just enough so that you can lengthen your spine, shoulders away from the ears. Really grow long in the spine. And then holding on to this length in the spine, we exhale. And again, we drape our body over the left thigh. And releasing the head. And can we find more space at the top of the breath? And more space at the bottom of the breath. In the shape of Janu, Shirshasana. And then on the next inhalation, slowly we rise up, drawing the legs back together in Dandasana. Legs are active, feet are flexed. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then we open up that right leg, again creating the V as we draw the sole of the left foot in to touch the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, extend the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, we gently twist over so our belly is over the right thigh. Invite a little micro bend in the right knee or a bigger bend. On the exhale, reach that chest forward, draping the belly to touch the thigh. Releasing the head. And again, we back off. Inhale, we rise up. Lengthen the spine. Hold on to that length. Exhale. Drape the belly and the chest over. And releasing the head. Consider staying here for at least 5 breaths. And on your next inhalation, slowly, slowly, we rise up. Come off of the blanket, or if you're on a block, put that off to the side. And sitting with our feet on the earth, just give ourselves a little hug. Grab the opposite elbows, sit up nice and tall. And then when you're ready, release the hold of the legs. Extend your arms out in front. And slowly we lower down one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to our backs. Let's hug in our knees. Give ourselves a nurturing hug. Gently rolling side to side. Massaging the back. And then coming to stillness, we hold on to the right knee, right shin, and we release the left leg to extend down to the bed or the mat. And the left leg is still active. And so you're standing on this imaginary wall with the left leg. And we hug in that right knee, allowing the shoulder blades to relax down to the earth, pressing down the sacrum. Head is neutral. Take a couple breaths here. And then on your next out breath, draw the head, curl up the head. Maybe the nose or the forehead comes to the knee. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, softening the face in this shape called wind relieving pose. And then slowly on your next out breath, slowly release the right leg down to the mat, extending the left leg, drawing the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg. And again, the right leg is active, standing on that imaginary wall as we hug in the left knee. Again, relaxing the shoulder blades down to touch the ground, feeling the sacrum pressing down into the earth. Just taking a couple deep breaths here. And then on the next out breath, we draw our nose or our forehead to our left knee, Relaxing the shoulders away, softening the face. And then slowly on the out breath, we release. Stamp both feet onto the mat, bending the knees. And let's draw our knees towards our chest again. This time the hands gently rest on top of the knees. And we make circles in the opposite direction like egg beaters. Start out small and slow, pressing our sacrum gently down. And begin to grow the size of the circles. Smooth breath as we move in and out of the nose. And then come to stillness and start making the circles in the opposite direction, starting out nice and small. Guiding our knees with our hands and growing that shape in a soothing way. And then slowly, slowly, lower the feet down to the ground as you come to stillness. And stamp your feet wider than your mat, wider than your hips. Maybe the toes turn out. And extend your arms out to the side in the shape of a letter T. And we windshield wipe our knees over to the right and then over to the left. Do that a couple of times on each side. And then consider adding the head moving in the opposite direction. So the knees go to the right, we turn our head to the left. And as the knee falls to the left, we turn our head to the right. Nice and slow, synchronizing with our breath, inhaling as we come to center. Exhaling as the knee falls over to one side. Inhaling, coming back to center. And again, exhaling to the other side. And then slowly come to one side and stay there with your head turned. And relaxing the shoulder blades down to the ground. Allowing the knees to grow heavy. And for comfort, you might consider putting a blanket or a book or a block underneath the knees for a little bit of support. But if you wanted to go further, you want a little bit more weight, you can pick up the outer foot and bring it to rest on the outside of the inside leg. So if your knees are over to the right ankle will be resting on the inside of the left thigh. And we use our breath here to soften the body. As we exhale, can we ask the body to let go of any tension? Another breath here. And then slowly release the hold of the leg with the foot. Bring our knees and our head back to neutral, back to center. And with our feet still nice and wide as our mat, we allow the knees to fall over on the other side. Turning our heads in the opposite direction. Again, a blanket, a book can be placed underneath one of the knees. And we consider if we want to pick up the foot that's opposite of where the head is turned, the outside. Maybe we consider that the outside leg. So for me, my knees are pointed to the left. It's the left leg. Left ankle resting on top of the outside of the right thigh. This side might feel a lot different. We observe that. We are mindful of that. Softening the body with our breath. And release the foot if it's on top of the thigh, and slowly we bring our knees back to center. Head comes back to neutral. And again, we hug in our knees. And then widening our knees, maybe we reach our hands inside the legs, and maybe we grab to the outside of the ankles or outside of the shins. Maybe we're able to reach the outside of the feet, or maybe our big toes. Whatever feels right to you. We try to have the elbows on the inside of both legs. We gently be playful, just whatever the body wants to do, maybe rolling side to side, extending one leg at a time in this happy baby, happy adult pose. Nice and joyful and soothing. And slowly, slowly, we come to stillness, lowering our foot down to the mat. Let's bring the soles of our feet together, butterflying the knees out in this supine Baddha Konasana. Hands can come to rest on the belly. Maybe gently closing our eyes. And if it's not comfortable to be laying here in Baddha Konasana, you can always grab the books or the blocks again and place it underneath the knees for support. And here we just allow our breath to come back to its natural state without doing anything. We just let the body be breathed on its own. And then slowly we extend one leg at a time onto the mat, allowing the toes to relax and fall on either side of the body. And then we extend our arms so they come to rest on either side from the body. Maybe the palm faces up towards the ceiling, the fingers are soft, and we begin to soften the face, releasing the jaw. Bring your attention to our breath. Noticing that it might have become shallow on its own. And just as we started, we bring our attention to our breath and where it travels inside the body. Just following it into the body. Noticing the expansion of either the belly, the chest, or maybe even the subtle movement of the shoulders as the air flows in and as the air flows out. Or you may bring your attention to the sensations at the tip of your nose or at the upper lip as air flows in and out of the nostrils. And if the mind begins to become distracted, see if you can bring your attention back to the breath, to the moment-by-moment sensations of breathing. Not being judgmental if you do have any wandering thoughts. Instead, reward yourself for noticing and for each time you bring your attention back to your breath. might consider employing this technique of bringing your awareness to your breath as you prepare the body for sleep, or if you wake up a little restless. And even if you wake up in the middle of the night after, or even if you only doze off for a little bit, at least you dozed off. And then begin the process again, softening the body, becoming aware of the moment-to-moment experience of the body being breathed on its own. Begin to lengthen your breath, inviting a deeper and deeper inhalation. And then slowly extend your arms over your head, stretching out from head to toe. And then with your arms still extended over your head, draw your right foot over to the right corner of your mat. And then cross the left ankle on top of the right. And then gently draw your upper body over to the right, creating the shape of a crescent moon. And then slowly draw the left leg back to center. Right leg comes to rest next to the left leg. And we bring the upper body back to neutral. And then we draw the left leg over to the left corner, crossing the right ankle on top of the left. And slowly we draw the upper body over to the left, maybe scooting over a little bit. In this shape of a gentle crescent. And then we release that effort, uncrossing the ankle, legs coming back to center, upper body follows. Draw one foot at a time onto the mat, and gently we roll over to our favorite side, pausing to rest our head on top of one bicep, maybe curling in our head towards our knee a little. And then with your eyes still closed, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position of your choice. Eyes are still closed. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And I invite you to practice another mudra, Anjali Mudra. Hands at the heart center. And it could represent gratitude as well, a symbol of gratitude. So I invite you to pick one experience from this day that you are grateful for. And we seal this practice by inhaling here. Exhale, we bow our heads down. Namaste.